Surviving college when you're lazy. Lazy or unmotivated? What's the problem, chat? I don't know.
My parents always told me that when I turned 18, I had two options, college or the military. And I'm
guessing you didn't pick military. Because, oh my god, I have chatters all the time complaining about the military, man.
sensitive and don't like getting yelled at, so college is where I ended up. I was really excited when I went to college, though. I was living with one of my best friends, I had a major picked out, and I was finally able to be on my own and make my own decisions. But when it was finally time to decide what I wanted to do, the only answer I had was nothing.
Thank you. We literally talked about it a couple of hours ago. I pulled up that Reddit post from the Gen Z subreddit, and it was like, I picked something, and I feel like I kind of regret it. We talked about it for an hour, I think.
I see a lot of people on social media talking about gifted kid burnout, but if I'm being completely honest, I think a lot of us are just lazy or need to get tested for ADHD.
That's not true. I don't think so. I think having that social pressure to go to college when you're 17, 18 years old, nah, that doesn't mean you're lazy or you have ADHD.
I never really had to try too hard to do well in school. And if I ever did struggle, the belt was always there to straighten me out. So
the belt, the spoon, or the shoe, chat. Pick your poison. My parents did the belt.
When I got to college, I didn't really care about school anymore. I had a scholarship, so I kept my grades up. But in those 4 years, I learned that the biggest lessons are the ones taught outside the classroom.
True.
Right here, this is the Tarbinator. Yo, bro, can I see your notes from earlier? I got here late today. Not gonna lie, bro, I haven't been paying attention at all. Bro, we got a quiz on Friday. What are you doing? I've been hooked on this game. It's called Raid Shadow Legends.
This guy's smooth with it. Nah.
And they're the sponsor of today's video. Wait, video? Raid Shadow Legends is a free-to-play turn-based mobile RPG. They've got over 80 million players worldwide, and they're constantly updating it with new content. Wait, 80 million players? That many people play this game? Yeah, bro, and it's mad chill. So many multiplayer games are full of sweats that ruin all the fun.
True.
But with Raid, you just jump in, select your heroes, and build teams based on their unique abilities and interactions. Okay, but I've been seeing this game for years, bro. Even if you say it's casual, I'm definitely gonna be way behind all the other players, just like every other MMO. Excuse me, gentlemen, but is there something you two would like to share with the class? Actually, yeah, there is. Right now, there's no better time for new players to try Raid Shadow Legends. All you gotta do is download using the link in the description or by scanning the QR code on screen.
Oh my god, look at her thighs.
And you get Tagore, an epic support champion, 300,000 silver, 1 energy refill, 10 magic brews, and a 1-day XP boost. That's $60 worth of in-game content for free. And once you hit level 15, you get an additional epic champion, Tyrell, and even more silver, energy, and XP. And on top of that, they're throwing in 1 legendary champion for free if you use any one of these codes. Personally, I've been using Loki and going absolutely crazy with them. If you've ever wanted to try Raid and see what all the hype is about, now is the best time. It's available for download on mobile, PC, and Mac. And don't forget to use one of these promo codes to get your legendary champion. Once you're in, come join my clan and we can play together. Thanks to Raid for sponsoring this video, and don't forget to download using this QR code or the link in the description. I think the most exciting thing about college is finally having the freedom to do whatever you want. However,
true, because you go chat, who went crazy with it, dude? I went a little bit crazy when I realized I wasn't on a complete leash anymore with my parents. Yeah, that was a big mistake. I feel like that would have been so much better if I had a job, because at least there's some sort of responsibility and stability.
This freedom comes with a lot of responsibility, so you have to keep yourself in check. Because if you're me, a 9 a.m. class with no attendance requirement means that it might as well be optional.
So true. You're literally playing fucking video games and then studying at the same time.
I skipped class so much that when I walked in for an exam one day, my professor looked at me and said, "Haven't seen you in a while." Like, whoa. I was told that in college, you're just a number and your professors won't remember you. But I guess you stand out a lot more when you're one of the only black people in the room. Speaking of professors, A good relationship with one is really important. That's why on the first day of class, there's always a line of students trying to introduce themselves to someone who already forgot their name before they even told them. I think the best way is to just do it organically. Find professors who match your energy. They're not all bookworms who only care about academics.
True.
I remember when I was really struggling with my mental health, I completely forgot to submit an oral presentation that was worth 30% of my grade. And my professor was cool enough to give me an extension just because he could see I was kind of going through it. But also, if you're like me, you may also have a huge issue with procrastination. And growing up, you probably had teachers.
Oh my god, I just remembered one of my statistics. I had a paper for statistics and I stayed up for like 20 hours straight, and then I printed it at 4 a.m. really quietly in my dad's office so I wouldn't wake up my mom and dad. And I was like pretending. I was so sleep deprived, my mom and dad woke up like to, you know, get ready for work, and I remembered looking at them and they're like, "Oh, did you just get up, like, you know, to print it early?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I got up early. I wasn't up all night writing this fucking statistic paper that was literally due from day one at the end of like the semester now. Like, no, not at all. I'm not like that. Yeah."
Teachers telling you, you know, this won't work when you get to college. But that's the problem. It does work.
It
really
does.
well, actually. By the time you get to college, you're like an expert at procrastinating. They
True.
say Rome wasn't built in a day, but that's just because it wasn't due by 11:59. In fact, it's gotten to the point where I genuinely believe that I do some of my best work at the last minute.
Honestly true. Yeah, I actually got a really good grade on that statistic paper. I did scrounge it together, and this was like before AI and all that bullshit. Like, I did manage to scrounge it together.
Yo, don't forget our reports are due at 11:59 tonight. You almost done? Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
You haven't even started, have you?
No.
You always wait till the last minute. It'll be fine, bro. Don't you know that diamonds are made under pressure? Yeah, and so is coal. Yo, bro, I'm going to hoop. Wanna come? Bro, our reports are due in 3 hours. You should really get started. It's just a quick sesh. I'll be back in a bit and then I'll get started. Oh, I gotta go.
Totally, yep.
Man, you should have seen me out there. I hit the game winner and all the ladies were like, "Oh my God."
Oh my
Whatever,
god.
bro. Are you
Oh my god, type shit. Oh my god. This wasn't me, but I did procrastinate by playing games a lot.
gonna get started now? Well, I got a shower. I don't want to be in here all stinky. All right, bro, whatever. Just make it a quick one. Don't be in there pretending you're in a music video again. Whatever.
That's me.
I will give you the world, baby girl. You ain't
Baby
gotta be
girl.
birdie. Yo, you wanna go get something to eat? Dude, our reports are due in 2 hours. So you're not hungry? No. Dude, what are you doing? Yeah, I probably should have dropped salty. There's like no loot here. We're gonna fail. All right, time to get started. Time for a break.
True.
Well, I don't know how you did it, but somehow we got an A. Look, the professor left feedback. Solid report. Some areas could have had more detail. Oh, come on. What did he say about my part? Great analysis. This must have taken weeks of careful research and crafting.
Oh my god, dude. Literally handing it in an hour before the due date. I remember scrambling to school because you had to hand it in manually. You had to print it out and hand it out manually because you had to draw a bunch of shit too. Yeah. A plus. I think I got an A minus. Was it an A minus? No, I think it was between a B plus and an A minus. One of my best work. Mwah. Chef's kiss.
Bravo. Trying to run duos? Another thing about college is that in your first couple of years, you'll probably live in a dorm. And I'd say being in a dorm is less about living and more about survival. It also sucks when you and your roommate are on the same schedule, so you never get a moment to just be alone. But learning how to coexist with a bunch of other dudes made me appreciate having my own space a bit more. Like,
that's kind of the military though, unironically. Yeah. Having to live with a bunch of sweaty, stinky men. I didn't live in a dorm. I had to live with my parents because they said they didn't trust me. Might have been a good idea.
There was this one time someone caused the fire alarm to go off because they tried to heat up a granola bar and ended up starting a small fire in the microwave, which made the entire building evacuate and had 1,000 people standing outside
over a granola bar
in the rain at 10 p.m. But I'm sure they probably didn't mean to. You know, whoever it was. But living in a community does make the transition of being on your own a lot easier. So I would say if you have the opportunity to try out dorm life, be sure to embrace it. A big part of college are parties and going out at night. And while I didn't really enjoy partying that much, I still tagged along with my friends whenever they went out sometimes.
I would
Being
hate
the sober
it.
friend at the bar is not
What if you're an introvert, bro, man? I don't know.
a fun experience. And it almost seemed like the world was upside down at night. Even the cops seemed more interested in cracking down on jaywalking than the countless obviously underage drinkers. Hey! Do you want to go to jail tonight? Whoa, officer, what did I do? Don't you know that jaywalking is a serious offense? Dude, I'm 2 inches away from the crosswalk. Hey, 2 inches is a lot. Some might even say it's kind of big, actually. Okay.
Imagine if cop actually says it to you. 2 inches is actually a lot, okay? Don't judge.
Hey, but what about all the people out here underage drinking tonight? Like, look at that guy. There's no way he's 21. Hey, you! Come here. Is there a problem, officer? Are you old enough to be drinking that? Maybe. What's this guy here for? I was a couple of inches away from the crosswalk. Hey man, you know, a couple of inches is a lot. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, everybody knows that
Fucking
the width
Hunter
is
x
what's really
Hunter,
important,
man.
right? My wife said the same thing, you know. If we really get into it, it's not about the size at all, but really more so getting the job done.
I could
Like, you know, it's all relative.
I completely
anyway. Like,
agree.
who is even? I will say that my favorite part of college was the community. College is a great place for making friends and even dating since everyone's around the same age. Even just being in the same place enough times a week can be the start of a new friendship. But just because things are a bit easier, it doesn't mean that they don't still come with challenges. Even
Yeah.
as a pretty out.
There's a lot of filler content too. Yeah, you guys think it's all gonna be all rainbows and ponies and combat and sick, nasty dialogue, and then you get to hit the filler and you're like, ah, man, when does this get it good, man?
Going person, it's still really awkward when you and a bunch of strangers get assigned a group project. So, you play any video games? Nah. Okay, type. You, catch the game last night? I'm not really into sports. Right.
What are you into then?
Right.
Type
you
shit,
got Instagram? I'll follow you. Social media isn't really your thing. Right, of course. I know it can be challenging sometimes. I remember feeling really lonely my first couple of months on campus because I wasn't really into partying, but it seemed like that was the only way people were meeting each other. But once I started pursuing more of my personal interests, I started making a lot more friends. And while I was able to eventually find my community, I know it's not that easy for everyone. One day, an administrator reached out to me and asked if I'd be willing to show a student around. And on this tour, the student told me that he had been feeling really disconnected and was having a hard time meeting people and making friends. And it's hard trying to help. People want to make their own friends, not just become a fifth wheel to you and yours. So I started thinking about what I could do. Meanwhile, my friends were busy forming a plan to turn our friend group into something bigger. However,
we can change the culture for real, guys. Hear me out.
Trying to get a bunch of 18 and 19-year-olds with no money to be on the same page about anything is almost impossible. But what we did manage to do was take all of our consoles out of our dorms, rent out a room on campus, and host an open game night. We had food,
That's
drinks,
sick.
and anyone was welcome to come. And I took the opportunity to invite the guy who said he had been struggling. And he didn't instantly make lifelong friends, but it was really cool to see him finally feeling like he was able to connect with other students. In college, I was in orientation.
Man, they should do that more often, bro. He was ahead of his game, huh?
Leader. You know
LAN
those
parties
people who
are
were up
sick.
at 6 a.m. screaming in your face when you were a freshman? Yeah, that was me. And one thing I learned is that remembering someone's name and face goes a long way at making them feel like they belong somewhere. And that can be the push someone needs to get out there and start making the most out of their college experience.
Dude, he's giving Giga Chat energy, bro.
Also, college may be your first time in a multicultural environment,
He's a
which can be
Sigma,
both
guys.
a good and bad thing depending on how you approach it. I went to college at a school that is 70% white, and this led to a lot of unique experiences due to having a fairly diverse friend group. And since black people only made up about 6% of the student body, seeing another black person was always special. Yeah, so I had to tell her to put her socks back on because I am not that freaky. But yo, what's up, my boy? Oh, what's good, bro? Hey, it's good to see you. How you living? You know me, bro, just chilling. It's good with you. Tight. I'm cooling. Just trying to stay out the way. On God. You clean though. Hey, you see it? All right, I'm holla at you though. You be easy. For sure, bro. Same to you.
Do you know
you
him?
know that guy? Never seen that dude a day.
I never seen that dude before, but it's like, what, huh?
In my life. Stepping into a more diverse environment can be a bit stressful, especially when you're unsure how your culture will interact with others. One thing that used to happen often was I would call an Uber,
that's right.
and no matter what music was playing in the car before, the moment I got in it, the driver would switch to playing rap music, and I never knew whether to.
Honestly, I feel like the thing that you have to do to assert dominance is like basically be like, okay, I don't like rap, I like country, and that'll make them feel fucking awkward. Yeah, this one's for you. Like, bro, what the fuck?
I feel grateful or offended because I do prefer to listen to rap, but he doesn't know that. So
he doesn't, but he doesn't anyway.
Sometimes I ask him to change it back just to throw him off.
Yes, that's what I was saying. Yes, put on like fucking country or something.
And while being in a diverse environment helps broaden your perspective, you have to be mindful of what you're getting yourself into sometimes. Boy, you so fat you got tired riding the elevator. You so fat you look like you sweat butter. Hey, what are you guys doing? Oh, we're just roasting each other. Nothing serious. Oh, can I join? I love
Oh no, don't let a girl. No!
roasting people. Oh, I'm not sure if that's a good idea.
No!
Oh, come on. I have two brothers and I roast them all the time. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. All right. Right then. You look like...
He doesn't even say it.
He said my breath smells like crocodile sweat.
That's not even that bad.
How does he even know what that smells like? Being in a multicultural environment was one of the main reasons I went to the school I chose. And I've learned that diversity for the sake of numbers doesn't really do anything if the students aren't willing to engage with each other. I'm not gonna sit here and act like you won't.
Honestly, the military is really good for that, just because like you're forced to be in a pressure cooker, and it really like, basically you're a bunch of like popcorn kernels popping against each other and seeing who cracks first. And then ultimately it kind of just like solidifies you as like one conglomerate mass. That's kind of what college is like too.
Face different forms of prejudice when you go to college. I've had my own experiences sitting in diversity offices because someone called me the N-word. Again, it's hard being reminded of these things. It's hard when you're already struggling to find community and other people make you feel unwelcome. It feels unfair when things like this can cause—
Gojo is utter woke nonsense. Yeah, bro. People with two-tone hair don't belong here. Gojo,
unwelcome. It feels unfair when things like this can cause you to feel deeply hurt. But if you react emotionally to it, people hold that against you. When people have preconceived notions about you just because of the way you talk or act or even look, and they judge you before they even get the chance to know you. But in my experience, where there's discrimination, there's also support. And you don't have to face these things alone. True. One of the biggest things I learned in college is that sometimes life is just about sharing experiences with each other, learning from the lives others have lived. I remember my freshman year, a friend of mine suggested that a few of us head over to the LGBT Resource Center to attend a class on ways we can better support LGBT students on campus. And I won't lie, as one of the only straight guys in the room, I felt really out of place. But I came to—
Oh my god, one of my like friends dragged me along to something like this too. I just remembered. Oh my god, I completely forgot. I went to one of these. And this was before this flag was even a thing, chat. This flag, it was just a rainbow flag without the fucking, this part, the triangle. Car memory unlocked. I completely forgot. One of my friends is a lesbian, I guess, but at the time, like, was confused, or quote unquote confused. And I remember she was like, I want to go to like a meeting and talk to other people. And I'm like, okay, I'll go and support you. That's cool. And I remember feeling so out of place because I was the only chick that was like, are you a lesbian? And I'm like, no, I'm straight, I think. And they're like, I'm sure you are. And I'm like, what do you mean I am?
For LGBT students on campus. And I won't lie, as one of the only straight guys in the room, I felt really out of place. But I came to realize that you don't need to be a part of a community to learn about their experiences. I'm not trying to sound preachy or make myself look like a good person. I'm just saying that the best part of college is the community. And if you make an effort to get out there and talk to people who are different from you, things will be a lot better. But it has to be genuine. It's not about politics or agendas. It's about learning. You don't come into college knowing everything. I didn't even know what tampons were for until I got to college.
I mean, to be fair, what the fuck do you really need to know them for? Like, realistically, until you get a girlfriend or something.
But if you keep an open mind,
or
maybe you'll know a bit more than you used to. If you really want to make the most of your college experience, you should try your best to get involved as much as you can. When I was an orientation leader, I had a student named Jake. And on this day, he was the only guy in my group. He was a little quiet and awkward, and I could tell he was struggling to fit in with the group of sorority girls I had. He was sitting by himself, and when I talked to him, I learned that he was a really big Nintendo fan. And I reassured him that while the girls in our group today weren't really his vibe, there's plenty of people at our school who will be. During the school year, I worked in the student center. And one day I walked into the game room and saw Jake sitting alone playing the Switch. A few minutes passed and a group of guys asked if they can play Smash with him. And after a few awkward moments of breaking the ice, I saw Jake start to come out of his shell. The same niche references and jokes he tried making during orientation were actually landing with these guys.
You gotta find the people that kind of vibe with you, even if it's not 100%. You also have to learn how to adapt. It's hard. It's hard.
And they stayed there all night gaming together and forging a new friendship. Even though I didn't care much for partying and going to class, moments like these are what matters. College is about finding your people and finding yourself. And it was really cool to see it happening right in front of me. Until I had to kick them out because we were closed and I wanted to go home. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on Twitter. Peace.
Yeah. That's that shit, chat. That's what I'm talking about. You also chat, you don't have to go to college to experience this. Trade school, getting a job. A job is also kind of the same thing. You have to learn who you can and can't talk to. Yeah, what type of people you fucking vibe with. Yeah, you never know. Do a job where you get to meet lots of people. That's also really helpful. It's like the same thing as college. Like, meeting lots of people helps a lot. Yeah. Go check him out, though. He's really cool. I like his editing style. It's really unique. It's honestly kind of underrated. Life is one big vibe check. Yo, that's so deep. You should, like, become the next Plato or something.